near us, about a mile away in the desert, we were at LG92, and about a mile away from us, a bunch of engineers arrived, and they cleared up a nice large patch of the desert, got rid of all the rocks, and because it's not like the desert you see in Beaugest, and they then erected some very large tents, I suppose you'd almost call them, except that the fronts were open, and next along came trucks full of crisscross wood structures, and we went across to find out what was happening, and they were very close-lipped. They said, yeah, this is top secret, don't ask. So who were we to argue at that little lot? And a few days later, we saw them putting all these things together, and it was like one of these balsa aircraft kits. They were putting together a lot of Hurricanes, but made out of wood. And once they got them to look like a Hurricane, they then put Hessian around them and sprayed them, and from a distance they looked very much like our own Hurricanes. And they put wheels on them and everything like that, and they wheeled them out onto the aerodrome from these covers. One day removed the covers, because we didn't have things like that in the days. Normally the aircraft sat out in the open. And then they put a landing T, just to indicate wind direction, just a letter T, and you landed towards the top of it. Most aerodromes had something like that to give you an idea of wind direction when you came into land. And then they packed up and went. And 2 nights later, the 88s and Heinkel 111s came over. They plastered the hell out of us. Bombs and horrible little spiky things which sat on the airstrip with their prongs sticking up, so if you taxied you burst a tire. And towards the end of one of this, we were all in slit trenches at that stage while this was going on, and they kept at us several times during that night. The last one, one of the 88s, we just saw it in the moonlight. It flew over us at about 50 feet over the other aerodrome and then on its way. And we got up next morning rather shagged, and after breakfast we wandered over to see if they had bombed what had happened to them. Not a sausage, except right in the middle of the aerodrome there was a single dummy bomb made of wood, Hessian around it, spray painted with a parachute on the tail. This bloke they'd realised, we all thought Jerry never had a sense of humour, but he'd just lay this on the aerodrome to show that he knew that those things were dummy ones. But then the POM showed they had a sense of humour too, because the next time when we took off and went around the aerodrome, there was the letter T, and next to it in big white letter was O, and then L-E-T, to let. So,
this is a great one.